Rosencrantz. His name is Guildenstern and my name is Rosencrantz. We are your guides for this evening and have been instructed by our royal superiors to deliver this very important message to you.
Thank you. Right. Before we begin, we must let you in on the very strict rules for our journey round this school's grounds.
This production will move you and is moving. Any chairs you brought for sitting must be left here at the gate, otherwise our arrivals will be late. At times you'll need to use your feet as an alternative for a seat, but please do not fear. A long rest is planned for your rear.
Picnics and wine you must leave here too, for the King and Queen would not like you to be caught supping on the juice of the vine, and then be slapped with a heavy fine by the royal court's soldiers, whose muscles are as big as boulders.
Just remember to stick by us, follow these rules, and we'll have no fuss. Could you also keep in mind the first half takes more time, so please don't get fed up and go home to sleep or sup. Or the second half flies by, I swear we tell no lie. Now what we need is an acting crew to entertain this incredibly attractive group.
Halt! An audience! Don't move! A lucky thing we came along.
For us?
I hope so. Well met, in fact, and just in time.
Why is that?
Why, we grow rusty, and you catch us at the very point of decadence. At this time tomorrow we might have forgotten everything we ever learned.
Tumblers, are you?
We can give you a tumbler, if that's your taste. At times being what they are, a tragedians. At your command.
Well, my name is Guildenstern, and his name is Guildenstern, and my name is Rosencrantz.
A pleasure. We have played to vigor, of course, but quality counts for something. I recognize you at once.
Who are we?
As fellow artists.
I thought you were gentlemen. What is your line?
Tragedy, sir. Deaths and disclosures, universal and particular. Denouement both unexpected and inexorable. Transvestite melodrama. On all levels, including the suggestive. We transport you into a world of intrigue and illusion.
Well, I don't know.
It costs little to watch. And little more if you happen to get caught up in the action, if that's your taste, and besides being what they are.
What are they?
Indifferent.
Bad?
Wicked.
What's this?
Now, what exactly is your pleasure? Gentlemen, disport yourselves.
What do they do?
Let your imagination run riot. They are beyond surprise. Welcome to the tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark.
Keep an eye open, an ear cocked. Tread warily and follow instructions.
We'll be all right. There's a logic at work. It's all done for you. Don't worry. Relax. Be taken in hand and led. Ladies and gentlemen, if you kindly follow Rosencrantz and myself to our first performance space, the action will be taking place on the lawn area, so could you kindly stand between Guildenstern and myself? Stand up, hold yourself.
What with the king?
Leonardo.
Hey,
You come most gently upon your hour.
Just now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief, much thanks. It is bitter cold and I am sick at heart.
Have you had fire guard?
Not a mouth stirring.
Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio or Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste.
Wait! Think I'm kidding. Stand ho! Who is there?
Francisco! And leave men to the aid.
Give you good night.
Say farewell, honest soldier. Who hath relieved thee?
Bernardo, kind thanks. Give you good night.
Hola, Bernardo!
Say, what is Horatio there?
Oh, a piece of him.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What, has this thing appeared again tonight?
I see nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him, touching this dreaded sacrifice scene of us. Therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night. fact, if again the apparition comes, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, 'twill not appear. Sit down a while. Let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against our story. What we have tonight seen.
Well, sit we down, and let us hear Bernardo speak of this.
Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole, that made his course to near that part of heaven when our burns, Marcelo and myself, the bell then beating one.
Peace, break the oath! Look where it comes again!
In the same figure like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar, speak to it, Horatio.
Also not like the king Marcus, Horatio.
You hear, and wonder,
It would be so too.
Speak to it, Horatio.
what art thou that you search this time of night? Together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of merry Denmark did sometime march. By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
Is it the vendor?
See, it stalks away.
Say, speak! Speak, I charge thee, speak!
He's gone and will not answer.
Oh, now, Horatio, you tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you on it?
Before my God, I might not disbelieve, but that was sensible and true watch in my own eyes.
Thus twice before and jumped at this bid hour. With Marshall's dog, has he gone by our watch?
In what particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross scope of my opinion, this loathsome strange eruption to our state.
Good now. Sit down and tell me why these same strict and most observant watch so nightly toils the subjects of the land. Who is this that can inform me?
Well, that can I. At least the wizard goes so. Our last king, whose image even but now appeared to us, was, as you know, by Falklands of Norway, thereto pricked on by a most emulent pride. Dared to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet, who so the sight of our known well esteemed, did slay this form. Soft, behold, lo, where it comes again! I'll cross it, though it blast me. Stay, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done, that may to thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, for which happily foreknowing may avoid, oh, speak! Or if thou hast uphoard in thy life, extort a treasure in the womb of the earth, for which they say you spirits oft walk content. Speak of it. Stay, speak! Stop it, master!
Shall I strike him with my sword?
Then!
Tis here.
Knight is here!
He's gone. We do it wrong being so majestical to offer the show of violence. For it is as the air invulnerable and our vain blows malicious mockery.
It was about to speak when the cock crew.
And then it started like a guilty thing upon fifth of summons.
It faded on the crowing of the cock.
Oh, but look, the morn in russet mantle clad, also the dew of yon haste and hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen here tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit dumb to us will speak to him. Do you consent? We shall acquaint him with it, as needful in our loves, meeting our duty.
Let's do it, I pray. Die this morning know where we shall find him most conveniently.
Do you remember the first thing that happened today?
I woke up. I suppose. Oh, I've got it now. That man, a foreigner, he woke us up. A messenger. That's it. Pale sky before dawn, a man standing on his saddle to bang on the shutters. He shouts, "What's all the row about? Clear off!" But then he called our names. Do you remember that? Yes. We were sent for. Yep. That's why we're here. Yes. Travelling. Right. Oh. What are we doing here? I ask myself. You might well ask. We'd better get on. You might well think. We'd better get on. Right. On where? Forward. I believe that way to be forward. Right. Okay, everybody.
of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green. And thus it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole country to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath duty fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress of this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with mirth in funeral and dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all, our thanks. Now follows that you know. Young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking since our late dear brother's death our state to be disjoint and out of frame, colleague with some dream of his advantage, he hath not failed to pester us with message, importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father with all bonds of law to our most valiant brother. So much for him. And for this time of meeting, so much the business is. Now for ourselves. Come. What's the news with you, Laertes? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? Huh? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane and lose your tongue. What wouldst thou beg? It shall not be my offer, not thy asking. Huh? The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and pardon from Prince of France, from whence so willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation. Yet now I must confess that duty done, my thoughts and wishes then again towards France. And I bow to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave, my laboursome petition. And at last upon his will I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy there now, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best grace suspended at thy will. And now, my cousin Hamlet, to my son.
A little more than kin, and less than father.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord, I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy knighted colour off, and with thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veil at thee seek thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowest it is common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
Thee, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam? It is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor the windy suspiration of forced breath, no, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected hager of the visage. Together with all forms and all shapes of grief that can denote me truly, these indeed seem. For they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passes show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
Why, it is sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know your father lost a father. That father lost his. And the successor bound in filial obligation to do obsequious sorrow. But to persever in obstinate condolement is a cause of impious stubbornness. It is unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven. Therefore I pray, through to earth these unprevailing woes, and think of us as of a father. Or let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school at Wittenberg. It is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, our cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. Pray, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey to you.
It is a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourselves in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart. In grace whereof, no jug of health that Denmark drinks today, but the great cannon to the clouds shall tell, and the king's rouse the heavens shall bruit again, bespeaking earthly thunder. Come away.
Oh, that this too sullied flesh would melt, fall and resolve itself into a dew, that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. God. How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it! Fie! Just an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess of me. That I should come to this. But 2 months dead! Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this, Hyperion to a Satyr. So loving to my mother, that he might not between the wings of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember why she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on him yet within a month. Let me not think on't. Frailty thy name is, woman. A little month. Or ere those shoes were old with which he followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears. Why she? Even she. God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer. Married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules, a little month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing of her galled eyes, she married. Most wicked speed to close with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
Very glad to see you well. Horatio! Did I forget myself?
The same, my lord. It's your poor servant, Emma.
So my good friend not change her name with you, Horatio. But why make you a Wittenberg? Masters!
My good lord.
I'm very glad to see you well. Good evening, sir. But what in faith makes for Wittenberg, Horatio?
A true disposition, to my lord.
I wouldn't have your enemies here, you say so, and no, you don't thought. But what is your fair and Elsinore? We teach you to drink deeply in a pond.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, followed hard.
Fruit, Horatio! The funeral bed needs to be coldly furnished forth the marriage tables. But I met my dearest foe in heaven or ere I'd seen that day, Horatio. My father. Methinks I see my father.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man. Came from all in all, I shall not look upon his life again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesterday.
So who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father?
Seizing reparation while they came here. So I made deliver upon the witness of these gentlemen this marble tomb.
God save the
2 nights together had these gentlemen on their watch, in the dead wasted middle of the night, in thus encountered. A figure like your father appears before them. His solemn march goes slow and stately by them. Thrice he walked, by their impressed and fierce surprised eyes, whilst they, still almost a jelly with the active fear, stand dumb and speak not. This to me in dreadful secrecy in part they did, and I with them the third night kept the watch, whereas they delivered both the time, form of the thing, each word made true and good, the apparition come. I knew your father, his hands, and not more life.
But where was this?
My lord, on the platform where we watched.
Oh, did you not speak?
My lord, I did. But answer made it no. It wasn't forced. It lifted up its head, and did it just some emotions in its feet. But even then the morning cock grew loud, and the sound had shrunk and hissed away, and vanished from our sight.
It is strange.
As I do live my honoured thoughts, it's true.
Indeed, sirs, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight?
We do, my lord.
I saw you on his face.
Oh, yes, my lord.
What look you frowning at me?
A countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale.
And fixed his eyes upon you.
Most possible.
How would I be?
It would have much amazed you.
I will watch tonight, but chance to walk again.
A word to it.
If it assume my noble father's person, I will speak to it, though Hamlet itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. I prithee, if you hitherto concealed this night, let it be tenable in your silence still. And whatsoever else you have tonight, give it an understanding, but no tongue. I will requite your loves. So fare you well. Upon the platform 212 will visit you.
Now, duty to your honour.
Your love is mine to you, farewell. My father's spirit. All is not well. Will the night come? Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deed will rise, and all the earth overwhelm them to men's eyes. My necessities are embarked. Farewell.
And sister, as the winds give benefit, and convoy is assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
And for Hamlet, and the trifling of his favour, holding a fashion and a green blood, a violence in the youth of private age, forward, not last, sweets not permanent, the perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
Oh, no more, but so.
Think on it no more. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor corn may besmirch the virtue of his will. But you must fear his greatness weighs, his will is not his own. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, but on his choice depends the safety and the health of the whole state, and therefore must his choice be circumscribed under the voice and the yielding of that body. Therefore he says he loves you. It fits your wisdom to believe it as far as he in his peculiar act and place may give his same deed. It is no sorrow that the main voice of Denmark goes on. Their wayward loss will never sustain. And could you confuse his soul? Or you lose your heart, or you chafe his treasure open to his unmastered importunities? Fear and fear, fear my dear sister, and keep him aware of your affection, out of shot and danger of desire. Be wary then, best safety lies in fear, though youth itself rebels, so none else near.
I shall with faith this good let him keep watchman into my heart. Would my brother not as some ungracious past should do, who neither steep and thorny ways to heaven, while, like a puffed and reckless libertine himself, the primrose part of Darius' church, and recks not his own good.
Oh, fear me not! Oh, and yet I stay too long in my father comes. Oh, double blessing is a double grace, occasions cause upon a second leave.
Yet here deities, aboard, for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you're stayed for. There, my blessing with thee. And these few precepts in my memory look now character. Give my thoughts no voice, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy path with entertainment of each new hatched, unfledged courage. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear it, that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Trust Indeed, I have it, as my purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy. And the apparel not proclaims the man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. For loan not loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. And this above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow if the night the day thou canst not then be false to any man. There. My blessing cease listen.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invests you go, to Sherman's 10.
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I said to you.
Ought to do my memory lock to keep myself from being killed.
Farewell.
What is to be here? Listen to you.
I came to my lord something touching Lord Hamlet.
Marry well bethought. 'Tis told me he has very often lent much private time to you. You yourself, not of your audience, been most free and bounteous. What is between you? Can you give me up the truth?
He has, my lord, late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Oh, affection! You speak like a green girl unsifted in such perilous circumstances. What think you of these tenders?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Marry, then I will teach you. Because of the baby, you take these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly. Not to press the wind for the fine phrase, running it thus to tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with loving honourable fashion,
Fashion, you may call it.
and had given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Spring is to get house. I do know when the blood burns, how prodigal soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, giving more light to the heat, extinct in both, even in their promise, as it is a making, thou must not. I would not, in plain words, have you so slander a moment's leisure as to have further word or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look fit, I charge you. Come your ways.
Shall obey, my lord.
It's all right. I'm demonstrating the misuse of free speech. To prove that it exists, not a move you should burn to death in your shoes. Oh, come on. Ladies and gentlemen, could you kindly come over here? The action will be taken place here. So if you kindly stand between guilty and like, of course, some people lend their hearts not as tall as others. So please show them courtesy by letting them come through toward the front. Yes, up along here. Kindly behind this line here.
Now we've lost the tension.
What tension?
What was the last thing they said before you wandered off?
When was that?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, what a shambles! We're just not getting anywhere.
By truly, it's very cold. Is it beginning to be here? What hour now? I think it left at 12.
No, struck.
Indeed. I had it not. Then it draws near the season wherein the spirit Halby's wont to walk. What does this mean, my lord? The king does wake tonight and takes his rounds, keeps whistle, and the swaggering upspring reels as he drains his draughts of Rhenish downs. The kettle drum and trumpet thus bray out the triumph of his pledge. Is it a custom? Ay, marry, to my mind, though native here to the manor born, it is a custom more honoured in the breach than observance. This heavy-handed rebel east and west makes us reduce and tax other nations. For they, clever's drunkards, and with swinish phrase soil our addition and education our kids. Look, my lord, it comes! Haters are almost the great offenders. Be thou spirit of health, O goblin dam. Bring me the air from heaven, or blast from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable, I will speak to thee. I will call thee Hamlet. King! Father! Will they answer me?
Expected you to go away with it, as if some impartment did desire to you alone.
Look at what courteous action away with you, Tormore. Remove it, ground. But do not go with it.
Do not, my lord.
We're not speaking our own word.
Do not, my lord.
Why, what should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee, and as for my soul, what can you do that being a thing is immortal as the sound?
What have attempted to do with the sun, my lord? What is the track to summon the cliff? The people told his faces to the sea, and there it seems from other horrible form, which might defy your sovereignty of reason and voice and command it.
They can wait me still going on, follow me.
You shall not go, my lord!
Hold up your hands.
People, you shall not go.
My foot cries out, and me keep pity out in this body's hide, and to the million lives, love, and hand me to. God, make a ghost of me, let's me. Stay away. Go on, I'll follow thee.
He went to set through his imagination.
Let's follow. He's not fit us to
Fiona! What issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct.
Nay, let's follow.
I'm afraid. So am I. What are you going to do now?
Well, I don't know. What do you want to do?
We could go.
Where?
Right here. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, carry on the upstairs.
I am thy father's spirit, true for a certain term to walk the night, for the day confined to past desires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature burned, purged away. I am forbidden to tell the secrets of my prison house. I could a tale unfold whose lightest word breathes thy blood. Ist, oh, ist, if thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder. Murder, most foul, as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, unnatural. Oh, Hamlet here, 'tis given out that sleeping within mine orchard my custom, a serpent stung me. So the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rightly abused. But no, noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life, now wears his crown.
Oh, my pathetic soul. My uncle!
That incestuous, that adulterate beast, witchcraft of his wits with traitorous gifts, oh, wicked wit and gifts that have the power so to seduce one to his shameful lust, the will my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there! So, methinks I scent the morning air. Please, let me be. Sleeping within mine orchard, my custom always of the afternoon, on my secure guard I humbly stole, with juice of cursed habonin in a vial, and in the porches of mine ears did pour the leprous distilment. So was I, sleeping by a brother's hand of life, crowned, a queen, at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sins, unhoused, disappointed, unanelled. Oh, reckoning maid, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible! Oh, horrible! Most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. Howsoever thou pursuest this act, change not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, to those thorns that in her bosom lodged to prick and sting her. But fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the match to be near and gives to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu. 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 Remember me.
Remember me. I have outpulled those my memory stood home to see to this distracted glow. Remember me! Yea, on the table of my memory I will write a little trivial upon record. There alone shall thy commandment be within the book and volume of my brain unlinked with baser matter. Yes, my human. Oh, most pernicious woman! Oh, villain! Villain, smiling, damn it, villain! My tables. Immediately as I set it down, one may smile and be a villain. So, Uncle, there you are! That's my word. It is adieu. Adieu, remember me. I have sworn it!
Lord Hamlet!
Albeit.
Hello, ho, ho, my lord!
Hello, ho, ho, boy, come.
How is it, my little lord?
What news, my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, good talent.
Now you reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord.
What say you, there would hardly man once think it, but you be secret?
I, by heaven, my lord.
It was never given dwelling in old Denmark that he's an arrant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Why right, doing the right? It is an honest ghost, that let me tell you. And for your desire to know what is between us, oh master, as you may. And now, good friends, as you are friends, scholars and dogs, give me one more request.
What is it, my lord? We will.
Never make known what you've seen here tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Never swear.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord, in
On
faith.
my sword.
Sworn, my lord, already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed. Voice, sir, so come on, just hear the fellow in the cellar. It's consent to swear. Propose you. Never speak as you've seen here tonight. Swear by my sword. Come on, gentlemen, lay your hands together upon my sword. Swear by my sword. Never speak of this as you've heard. Swear by his sword.
Oh, Dame Matthew, this is wondrous strange.
And therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. And all things in heaven and earth are ratio than the growth of a new philosophy. But come, here as before, never. So help me mercy, how strange or odd soever I bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put an antique disposition on. That you at such times seeing me never shall with arms encumbered thus, or by this headshake, or by pronouncing some doubtful phrase that you know alters me, this to swear. So grace and mercy you most needs help you swear! Swear! Rest! Rest, perturb the spirit! So, gentlemen, with all my love I do commend me to you. And what so poor a man as Hamlet is may do to express his love and friendship to you, God's will you shall not lack. Let's go together. And stir your fingers on your lips, I pray. The time is out of joint. Nay, let's go together.
I want to go home.
You can't. The things must play themselves out to an aesthetic, a logical, and a moral conclusion. And what's that in this case? There's no choice. The bad end unhappily, the good unluckily. Well, that's what tragedy means. Really? People want to be entertained.
I want a good story with a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Well, I prefer art to mirror life. If it's all the same to you, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been instructed to escort you into the royal courtyard.
think of horror. It comes before me.
As I love.
But I do not know. Truly, it is spirit.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. He gives his the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus over his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as if he would draw it. Long stay, sir. At last, a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus up and down, he raised a sigh, so piteous and profound as if it seemed to shatter all his bulk and end his being. But till he lets me go, his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes. Out of doors he went without their helps. It was the last. Then they might on me.
Come go with me, and we'll go seek the king.
This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property o'erdoes itself, and bends the will to desperate undertakings more often than any passion under heaven that doth afflict our riches. I'm sorry. Have you given him any hard words to play?
No, my lord. As you did command, I did repel his letters and deny his access to you.
I have made him mad. Sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. But yet he did but trifle and retract. Wishful jealousy. Indeed, it is a proper to our age to outcast ourselves in our opinions as it is for the younger sort to lack discretion. This must be known, it was he kept close by group or brief to hide and hate to utter love.
Moreover, that we long to see you. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something you have heard of Hamlet's transformation, so I call it, since neither the exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was. What it should be, more than his father's death, which hath put him so far from the understanding of himself, I cannot deem of. I entreat you both, the being of so young days brought up with him, and since so neighboured of his youth and behaviour, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little while, that by your companies you may draw him on to pleasures, and to gather so much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, which open lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of him, and sure I am 2 men there are not living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to expend your time with us a while for the supply and profit of our folk, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesty's might by the sovereign power you have to a great measure more in your command than to increase it. But we won't obey, and here I give up ourselves to the small gate to lay our services freely at your feet to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz, and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern, and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Go, some of you, and bring these gentlemen where Hamlet is.
Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful too.
Amen.
My lord! My lord, I do believe Press trade of mine runs not a trail of policy so sure as it used to be, that I have found the very source of that loose.
My dear Gertrude, he tells us he hath found the head and source of all our sons' distemper.
I doubt it is no other but the moon. His
father's death and our hasty marriage.
Well, we shall sit here.
My liege, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night, time is time, were nothing but to waste day, night, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, tediousness, the limbs and outer flourishes, I will be. Your noble son is mad, but in my true madness, what is nothing else but that. But
more matter with less art.
matter? Swear I must know what at all. That he is mad, it is true. It is true. When it from use no art. Mad let us grant it. And now remains to find the cause of it. Or rather say, cause. Thus, I have a dream. Who in her duty of the beings, Mark, has given me this. Now there, that's the mark. To the celestial and my soul's life, the most beautified of feelings. That's an ill. What? Beautified is a god. But you shall hear. Please, in her excellent wife, bosom.
Take this from Hamlet to her.
Say, I will be faithful. Doubt the stars are blood. Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt thy love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am filled with these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans. But that I love thee best, O most best, believe it, adieu. Thine evermore, most dear lady, once she is to him.
But how hath she received his?
What do you think?
Why, as of a man faithful and honourable,
I would fain prove so. I went round to her, and to my young mistress thus did I bespeak. The Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star. She should not herself away from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens. This time, a short tale to me. He repelled then into a sadness, then into a fast, then into a watch, thence into a weakness, thence into a lightness, and thus by this declension into that madness, wherein now he reigns, and we all mournful.
Do you think 'tis so?
It may be very right.
As there be a touch, I would fain know this, but I have positively said 'tis so, and it is true. Otherwise,
Not that I know.
take this from this, if this be ours.
How will we try it further?
You know how sometimes he walks 4 hours together, here alone.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I lose my trust. The wheel and I behind the carriage. Mark the account. It be not her not, it be not from his reason formed now. We be not sisters.
We will try it.
But look, I said, when the porridge comes here.
Oh, I do seek you both. I brought you present. Oh, you believe? How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Oh, God have mercy.
You know me, my lord.
Excellent man, you're a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Would you were so honest a man?
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir. To be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That's pretty true, my lord.
For if the sun-breeding maggots in the belly of a dead dog being a good kissing cow, have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Better not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but as your daughter may conceive. And Richard,
Thou say by that, still harping on my daughter. And yet at first you did not know me. Said I was a fishmonger. His father. What do you read, my lord?
words. Words.
But what is the matter?
Between you.
I mean, what is the matter that you read?
Slanders, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have grey beards, and their faces are wrinkled, and their eyes are purging thick amber and plum tree gum. And they have plentiful lack of wit, all of which, sir, though most powerfully potentially believe, though hold it not honestly to have it thus set down for yourself, sir, shall grow old as I am, if like a crab you could go backwards.
Though this be madness, there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air?
Into my grave.
That is out here. Sometimes it replies. My lord, I will take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will not more willingly part with all. Accept my life. Accept my life. Accept tedious old fools.
My honourable lord! My most dear lord!
Oh, my most excellent friends, how does thou go, sir? Present days? How do you go, good lads?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
How happy that we are not over happy. Unfortune's happy, not the very button.
With all the soles of her shoes.
Neither, my lord.
Well, then you live about her waist or in the middle of her favours.
Take her pride, queen.
The secret part of fortune, most creatures are strumpet. What news?
None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Well, then it's doomsday here. But your news is not true. Let me question you more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord.
Denmark's a prison.
And it's the world's one.
A goodly one, in which there are many walls and confines and dungeons, Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then, 'tis none to you. For there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself king of infinite space were it not that I have bad dreams.
Which dreams indeed are ambition? Often the very substance of the ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream.
A dream itself is but a shadow.
Indeed, and I hold an ambition of soul, air, and light equality, that it is but a shadow.
Shall we to the court provide my friend I cannot read?
We'll wait for you.
No such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my servants. For so to speak to you like an honest man, I most dreadfully attended. But in the pleasing way of friendship, what make it else of me?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Well, beggar that I am, I'm even poor in thanks, but I thank you. And sure, my dear friends, my thanks are to their halfpenny. Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come, speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Anything but to your purpose. I know that the king and queen have sent for you.
What end, my lord?
But that must be to me. But be even and direct with me whether you are sent for or no. Say then, I have an eye of you. Do you love me? Or not?
My lord, we were sent for.
And I shall tell you why. And so my anticipation shall prevent you discovering your secrecy to the king and queen not in a feather. I have a hint, but wherefore I know not. Lost all my nerve, forgone all custom of exercise, and indeed it goes heavily with my disposition that this goodly friend the earth seems to me a sterile promontory. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a God. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet to me, what is this? Quintessence of dust. Man delights not you. And nor women neither. So why are you smiling, you seem to say so?
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lord, that if you delight not in man, what blended entertainment the plays do I receive from you?
Angel, welcome to house, and will come your hands. Comes in punch of welcome, expression and ceremony. Let me comply with you in this goddess. My state of the play, I think I tell you, much of the outward would seem more like entertainment than yours. You're welcome. But my uncle, father, and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my lord?
I am battle mad north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, and there will hawk in a handsome way.
My lord, I have news, my lord. The actors are come, my lord. The best actors in the world. Either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral, comical, historical, pastoral, tragical, historical, tragical, comical, historical, pastoral. Scene individable or poem unlimited. Select cannot be too heavy, nor thoughtless too much. The law of wit and the liberty, these are the only ends.
Welcome, masters, welcome, all welcome, my good friends. Come, we'll have a speech straight. Come, give us a taste of equality. Come, give the passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
I heard thee speak me a speech once, but it was never acted. It was Aeneas' tale to Dido. And thereabout especially when he speaks of the armed slaughter. Is it in your memory? So see.
But who, our woe, had seen the mobbled queen?
That's good.
Run barefoot up and down, threatening the flames with vision room, a clout upon their head where late the diadem stood, and for a robe about her leg in all her team and loins, a blanket in the arm of fear. Who this had seen, with tongue in venom steeped, gainst fortune's state would treason have pronounced. What? If the very gods did see her then, when she saw Priam make malicious sport, enmixing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she gave, unless things mortal rule them not at all, would have made mention the burning eyes of heaven and passion in the gods. Look where he hath not turned his colour, and hath tears in his eyes, a prince no more. He cried and had to keep the virgin dancing. Good my lord, you see this fellow not so.
Councillors.
For the little my friend have played tomorrow night.
The murder of Gonzalo.
Aye.
Could Bruni study a speech of some dozen or 16 lines, which I will be set and insert into the
Aye, my lord.
Now tomorrow night, I follow that lord, he looked him not nothing. My friend will meet you tomorrow. You're welcome to help.
I like it.
I shall go by you. Oh, little rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, would force his soul so to his own conceit that from her workings all his visage waned? Tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function shooting with forms to his conceit. And all for nothing. For Hecuba! What would he do? Had he the motive and the cue for passion that I had? He would drown the stage with tears, and then plead the general ear with horrid speech. And yet I, a dull, muddy, metal rascal, peak like John of Dreams, unpresent at my cause and can say nothing. Am I? Who calls me villain? Breaks my page across, plucks up my beard and blows it in my face, twits me by the nose, gives me the line that approaches deep to the lungs. Who does me this, huh? As soon as I should take it,
be that I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter. Remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindness, villain!
Why is it not grave that I, the son of the dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, rushed like a whore, unpack my words and fall a cursing, like a very dragon, sculling and fire by its own. But my brains. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting by a play have, by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that they have presently proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it hath no tongue, will speak with miraculous warning. I'll have these players play up something about the murder of my father before my uncle. I'll observe his looks, I'll tense him to the quick. If he but blench, I know my course. The play is the thing where I have to concentrate again.
I think you can say we made some headway. You think so? Yeah, I think you can say that.
I think we could say he made us look ridiculous.
We played it close to the chest, of course.
Question and answer, always the best ways.
You're scoring up goals down the line. He might have caught us on the wrong foot once or twice, perhaps, but I thought we gained some ground.
He murdered us.
He might have had the edge.
27-3, and you think he might have the edge? He murdered us!
What about our evasion?
Oh, our evasions were lovely. What you sent for, he said.
My lord, we were sent for.
I didn't know where to put my son.
He had 6 rhetorical.
And can you, by no gift of confidence, get from him why he puts on this confusion, breaking so harshly all his days of quiet with dangerous and turbulent lunacy?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but we would hardly madness keeps aloof when we would bring him into some confession of his true state. Did he receive you right?
Most mighty gentlemen,
With much forcing of his disposition.
neither of question, but of our demands, most freely his reply.
Did you assail him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that there are such they hear about the court, and as I think, they have already ordered this night to play before him.
It is most true, my lord. And indeed he did entreat me to beseech your majesties to see and hear that.
With all my heart. And it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, go and give him a further edge and drive his pleasures into these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too. For we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as for by accident, may hear affront Ophelia, the father and myself. Lawful aspires, will so bestow ourselves that seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather as he is behaved, whether it be the affliction of his love or no that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Peter, I do wish that your business would be the happy cause of Hamlet's father. And so shall I hope your honours will bring him to his wonted way again, to both of us. Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk down here. Gracious and pleased will bestow ourselves. Read on this book. The show of such an exercise may cover your nerves. We are about to course of this to approve with devotion's visage and pious act we should abhor the devil himself. Again covered. That's all right.
Do you not to be? That is the question.
it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing them, to die, to sleep no more. And by a sleep we say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is given to. It is a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep. To sleep, the chance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There is the respect that makes calamity of so long a life. For who will bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of the despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurn that patient merit of the unworthy takes when he himself might his quietus make it a rebel. I was there to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the fear of something after death. The unshut country from whose bourne no traveller returns puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than to fly to others we know not of. Thus, conscience does make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolutions sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought. And enterprises of great pitch and moment with disregard their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. Sophia, the fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how is your honour for this many a day?
I humbly thank you well. Well,
my lord, I have remembrances of yours that I had longed to re-deliver. Will you receive them?
yes, I never gave you aught.
Well, lord, you know I thought you did. And with them, words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. The perfume lost, take these again, but to a noble mind which gives wax poor, and the giver proves unkind.
I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord. Many believe so.
Well, you should not believe me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you then.
Who's the more to see?
Get me to a nunnery! Why would there be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent first. But you to accuse me of such things, or unless my mother had not borne me. I'm very proud, revengeful, ambitious. With more offences at my effect than I am forced to put them in imagination to give them shape or time to after me. What should such fellows as I do, falling between heaven and earth? We are married, babes, and leave none of us. With our ways to remind me. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Well, let the doors be shut on him, that he may take a full note of the road home. as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape. Carry me. To a nunnery go. I believe you think was true enough. God has given you one face, and you make yourself another. You jig, and you amble, and you lisp, and you nickname God's creatures, and you make your wantonness your ignorance. Those who have made me mad. I say there should be no more marriages, and those that are married already, or with one, shall live, and the rest shall keep as they are. To an nunnery go.
Noble minds here in this room. Soldiers, scholars' eyes, soul, tongue. Expectancy in rose of the fair state. Glass of fashion, mold of form. Observe all observers. Quiet. Down. And I, ladies midst, gent and wretched. But such the music of his honey vows, now see that noble and sovereign reason. Its sweet bells, jangled out of time and harsh, the unmatched feature of glowing youth. Lasted ecstasy. How woe is me to have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Now, his affections do not that way turn. Nobody spake, though it lacked form, it was not like madness. Something in his soul, o'er which his melancholy sits unglued. And I do doubt the hatching that disclose will be some danger, which, for to prevent, I have in quick succession set it down. He shall speed to England for the demand of our neglected tribute. Haply the seas or the countries different, with variable objects shall expel this something settled matter in his heart. What think you of it?
It will do, though. But yet, do I believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love? I know. Need not tell us what happens. We've heard it all. Do as you will. But if you hold it, after the play, let his queen mother all alone beseech you, show forth his will. Let her be round. But I'll be placed, so please you in the ear of your letter, to hear his verses. If she find you not, then to England send him, or else confine him wheresoever your wisdom best shall be.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Tripping me on the tongue. But if you mouth the words as many of your players do, I have as leave the town crier for my rights. Nor do not fill the air too much with your hand thus, but use all gentle. For in the very torrent tempest, and as I might say, whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that must give it smoothness. Oh, defends me to the soul to hear a robustious, periwig-pated fellow tear a passion to tatters, to the very rags, to split the ears of the groundlings who, for the most part, are capable of nothing but inexplicable dumb shows of noise. I will have such as wit to overdo term and get it out. Herod's Herod. Pray you avoid it.
I warrant, Your Honour.
Oh, but be not detained. Let your own discretion be achieved. Suit the action to the words to the action with this special observance, that you overstep not the modesty of nature. For anything so overdone is from the purpose of playing, whose purpose both at the first and now was and is, as 'twere, to hold a mirror up to nature, to show virtue her own feature, to scorn her own image, and the very age and body of time his form and pressure. Now, if so the fellow comes hardy off, though it might make the unskilful laugh, cannot but make the judicious grieve. The censure of the rich one must in your allowance throw away a whole theatre of others.
I trust we have reformed that even differently with us, sir.
Reform it altogether, go when you're ready. What ho, Horatio!
Yes, my lord, at your service.
Horatio, thou again is just the man as aim our conversation comes in all.
Oh, my dear lord.
Nay, do not think I flatter. For what advancement may I hope from thee that no revenue has but thy good spirits to feed and clothe thee? No. Let the candy tongue lick observe off, and put the pregnant hinges of the knee where thrift may follow form. Give me that man that is not a passion slave, and unaware me my heart's core. Aye, in my heart apart will I do thee. Something too much of this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes into the circumstance which I told you in my father's death. Forgive me. When I cease to act the fruit, even with the very comment of my soul, observe my uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen, and my imaginations are as foul as bulk and filthy. Give him heedful note, for my eyes will rivet to his face, and after which we will both our judgments drawn censure of his scene.
Well, my lord, if he still ought to us, his play is a fact, and escape the temple.
There comes in the play, I'll get you myself the island.
How fares our present Hamlet?
Excellent in faith of the chameleon's dish. I eat the air, promise brown. You cannot be taken, sir.
I have nothing to defend on this morning,
No, no, mine now. Oh, my lord! You play in the university, what you say?
I think, my lord, I have it correct.
Well, what did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the camp. Brutus killed me.
It was a good part for you to kill so capital a part. Be the play ready?
Place here upon your patience. Come hither, my dear. Come and sit by me.
No, madam, here is metal more attractive.
Oh, you love that.
Ladies, you are lying, you love.
No, my lord.
Now me my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Country matters.
I think nothing, my lord.
Well, that's a fair thought to lie between maids' lips. Nothing.
You were married, my lord.
Who I? What should a man do but be married? For look you, how cheerful my mother looks. My father died within these 2 hours.
Maybe twice a month, my lord.
What? Oh, heavens! Dead 2 months and not forgotten yet. Then let's hope a great man's memory might outlive his life half a year.
For us and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing.
Patiently. Is this the prologue of the poesy of a ring?
Read, my lord.
It's woman's love.
Full 20 times hath Phoebus heart gone wrong, Neptune's salt wash, and Tellus o'erdrawn. since Lothar and Hamlet in our hands, unite for mutual in most sacred band.
So many gems, may the sun and the moon make us again count home their love. Now, what my love is, who hath made you know? And as my love is size, my fear is great. Where love is great, the littlest doubts are fear. Where little fear grows great, great love grows there.
Then I must leave thee, love, that showed me true, by operant powers their functions leave to do. And thou must live in this fair world behind, honored, beloved, and happy once kind to husband.
Thou rest! Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband let me be accursed. None waits, but who kills the first?
One would.
The instance of the second marriage brings our face respectful fruit. But none now. Second time I kill my husband dead, when second husband kisses me in bed.
I do believe you think what now you speak, that what we do determine oft we break, our wills and fates do so contrary run that our devices still are overthrown. Our thoughts are ours, their ends, none of our own. So, if thou wilt no second husband wed, but died, I thought, when thy first love is dead.
Nor earth to give me food, nor heaven light. Sport and repair block from me day and night. Though here and hence pursue me lasting sore. If once forbidden, ever
Since deeply swore, sweet, leave me here a while, my spirits go down. And fain would I beguile the tedious day with sleep.
sleep not thy flame, and then countless chance.
Madam, how light is this play?
The lady pretends too much.
Maybe she'll keep her word.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offence in it?
No offence in the word, they but jest, poison in jest.
What do you call this play?
A mousetrap! This play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago's the Duke's name, his wife Baptista. You shall see it on. But what of that? Your Majesty, we that have free souls, it touches not us. No, let the Gauls take winds out with us or run. This one is Luciana, second to the king.
You would have written chorus, my lord.
I can interpret between you and your love if I can see the top of them.
Oh, still better.
Yes, because you're working to admire your job.
Oh, better.
So you must take your husbands. Come! Begin, Lord! Come, leave thy damnable faces begin. Come. The curtain raised and does better for revenge.
Thoughts black, hands act, drugs fit, and time agreeing. Confederacy that else no creature seeing. Thou rankest mixture of midnight weed collected, with Hecate's van thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property, unwholesome life, usurp immediately.
Keep pointing this down with the stake. This lady Gonzago, the stories extended with the choice of tell you to bring on. How about we get another Gonzago in one?
Get me to the right!
Get on the plate! Boy! Let the stricken Diego weep. The heart is all in flame. Well, some must watch and some must sleep. Thus runs the world away. Horatio! Oh, let the ghost works £1,000 to perceive very well, my lord. I thought that took the poison to throw around those him. Come! The music! Tell the recorders! Come! When the king might not, the comedy might end. I said not burn!
Oh, my lord, that's so good.
So, how beautiful.
The king, sir.
I love no Mrs. Doppelton?
Good, my lord, put your discourse into some frame, and start not so wildly from my affair.
I intend, sir, pronounce.
The Queen, your mother, has in great affliction of spirit sent me to...
And you are welcome.
Nay, dear my lord, this courtesy is all for my priest. If it shall please you to give me a wholesome answer, I will do your mother's command. If not, your pardon and my return shall be the end of my business.
Sir, I cannot.
What, my lord?
Make you a wholesome answer. My wit is diseased. For such answers as I can make you shall command, or rather, as you say, my mother. Therefore, no more. But to the matter, my mother, you say?
Then must he says your behaviour hath struck her into amazement and admiration.
Wonderful son that can so astonish your mother. But is there no secret the heels of this mother's admiration?
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
But we celebrate worship 10 times down, mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
Oh, so I still do. With these pickets and spears.
Good, my lord, what is the cause of your distemper? You do surely bar the door against your own liberty if you deny your priest your
For
right.
I lack advancement.
How can that be when you have the voice of the king in part of your succession in Denmark?
Will you play upon this pipe?
Oh, my lord, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
It is as easy as lying. Gather the benches with your fingers and thumb, and with the breath of your mouth, and disclose most adequate music. Look, you there on the stops.
But please, can I command you to any utterance of harmony? I have not the skill.
Why, look at you now. How unworthy a thing you would make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would sound me from my lowest notes to the top of my compass. And there is much music, excellent voice in this little organ, yet you cannot make it speak. Do you think I'm easier to be played on the pipe? Call me what instrument you will. Don't you fret me, you cannot play upon me! It is now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn, and has not really contained in this world. Now could I prove the heart of man, and do such bitter business as a day would quake to look on. Now to my mother. Her heart, lose not thy nature. Let not ever the soul of Nero into this fair vision. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. My tongue and soul must be hypocrites. Howsoever in my words she be sent to give them seals, never my soul consent.
If I do not, your stands and sacred has reflected my administration. Therefore I, your commissioner, forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate may not endure handle, but hourly grow out of his brows.
We will ourselves provide. Most holy and religious fear it is to keep those many, many bodies safe that live and feed upon your majesty.
Now I pray you for this speedy voyage, and we will better put upon this deer which now goes too free-footed.
We will haste us.
My lord. Behind me outside and lay myself here in the process. I warrant she'll text him home, as you say, and wise it wasn't said. 'Tis meet that some poor audience to the mother should hear the speech of vantage. Nature seems partial. Stay, my lord. I'll call upon you in good bed until you want my hand.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offence is rank. Smells to highest heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it. Brother's murder. Pray can I not? Though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man in double business bound, I stand in pause where I should first begin. and both neglect. What if this cursed hand be thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Oh, what form of prayer can forgive me my foul deed? It cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the deed. My crown, my own ambition, and my queen. Then, what rests? Try what repentance can, what can it not? And what can it if one cannot repent? O wretched state! O bosom black as death! O limed soul that's struggling to be free yet more engaged! Help, angels! Make assay! Bow stubborn knees, and part with strings of steel, be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. Or maybe
Now I'm like now he's afraid, and now I'm going to it. And so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. That would be scandal. A villain killed my father, and I, for that his soul sung to the same villain sent to heaven. Why, this is hiring salary, not revenge. He took my father's grocery full of bread, with all his crimes broad blown as flush as May. And how his order stands with no say in heaven. But in our present circumstance, of course, of thought is heavy with him. And am I then revenged? To take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seeks a very passage? No. Ah, sword. And know thou more horrid hint, when he is in his rage or drunk asleep, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at games swearing, or about some act that hath no radish of salvation in it. Then trip him, so that his heels may take to heaven, and that his soul be as black and damned as hell whereto it goes. My mother says, this physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
what remain below? Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
Mother! Mother! Mother!
You will come, strangers.
Mother!
Look him lay hold of me. Tell him that his pranks have made him too much to bear with, and that your grace has screened us to be much heat in this. How silent be in here.
Mother!
Pray be round.
Oh, warrant you, fear me not, withdraw, I hear him coming.
Now, Mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, thou hast my father much offended.
How come you answer with an idle tongue?
Go, you question me with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now? No. By the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. And would it were not so rude, my mother?
Nay, then I'll set those two that cannot be.
Come, you shall not budge. You go not until I set up a blast, that you may see the inmost part of you. The king.
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
A bloody deed. Almost as bad as mother's kill a king and marry his brother. I made it my word. A wretched, rash, and cruel fool. Farewell. I took thee for thy better. Thou find'st me too busy in some danger. Peace. Leave wringing of your hands and sit you down. And let me wring your heart, for so I shall be made a penetrable star.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue a hypocrite, plucks off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love in such a blister air. It's married vows as false as dice souls.
What act that roars so loud as thunders in the incense?
Look here, honest picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated upon this brow. A combination in form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man that was your husband. And look now what follows. Here it is your husband, but like a mildewed ear grasping his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you in this fair mountain leave to feed and batten upon this moor? Have you eyes? Well, you cannot call it love. For at your age, the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble, and it waits upon judgment. And what judgment will step from this to this? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight, ears without hands or eyes, smelling sans all, or but a sickly part of wilful sense of lips of mouth. Shame where? Where is thy blush?
Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turn'st mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave them.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an assumed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sky.
No more! These words like daggers into my ears. No more.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20 the part of your priesthood and lord, a cutpurse of the empire and a ruler from the shelf. The precious died and stolen, he put it in his pocket. No more! King of shreds and patches. What would you gracious do?
Alas, he's mad.
Do you not come to tardy so as a child? That lapse in time and casualness shall be important act of your command, or say.
Do not forget. This visit is but to blunt thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits, or step between her and her fighting soul, and seek in weakest bodies, strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you? Would you have bent your eye on vacancy and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? Forth let your eyes, your spirits walk with me, and as the sleeping soldiers in the alarm, your bedded hair like life in excrement starts up and stands on end. Gentle sun, upon the heat and flame as I disdain, or sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On him. On him. Look at how pale he glares. His form and cause to joy and quickening the stones would make him capable. Do not look upon me! That if you speak these acts, you can burn my stern face. Say what I have to do and what truth I hear. Son of love.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see the connection?
No, nothing at all yet. All there is I see.
What, you know that you did nothing here?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Quiet! Look how it feels away! My father in Hamlet, as it is. Look! How it steals through the portal!
This is the very coinage of your brain. This fabulous creation ecstasy is very cunning in it.
Ecstasy. My pulse, as yours, doth temperately keep time amidst its healthy music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and I the matter will reword which madness would gather from. For the love of God, Blame not the flattering unction of your soul, and not your choice part that my madness speaks. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent of what's past and avoid what is to come. And do not spread the compost of the wind to every mankind. Forgive me this my virtue.
Hamlet, thou hast cut my heart in twain.
Throw away the worst part of that and live the pure with you. Good. But go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. That monster custom whom all sense doth eat of habits devilish, angel yet in this. That to the use of actions fair and good, he likewise gives a frock and livery that aptly is put on. Refrain tonight, and that shall then a kind of easiness to the next buttons. And when you desire to be blessed, I'll listen to you. For this same Lord I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him an answer well to death I gave him. Good night, love. I must be cruel only to be kind. Thus bad the kings and words remain behind. Oh, one more word from me.
What shall I do?
Not this by no means an easy to do. Let the blow keep intention things to be. Pinch wantonly in the cheek, hold with his lips, and let him for the pair of witchy kisses away. Then you let the very fingers. Then you will always meet up after I say to you, not nervous, but of God.
Be thou sure, if words give no breath and breath of life, I have no love to you but that is said.
I must to England, you know that. I'll lug the guts into the neighbour room. This house is now most still, most silent, and most brave. What is like a foolish, fretting day. Come, sir, to draw off the Lord James Street. Good night, mother.
What have I seen tonight?
What happened? How does happen?
Mad as the sea and wind, where both contend which is the mightier. In his lord's seat behind the rats, hearing something stir, he whips his rapier out and cries, "A rat, a rat!" And in his brainish apprehension kills the unseen good old man.
Heavy deed. It had been so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you, to us, to everyone. Yes. How shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us. His providence should have kept short, restrained, and out of order this mad young man. But so much was our love. You would not understand what was most fit. Like the illness of a foul disease, to keep it from divulging, let it feed even on the pith of life. Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he has killed, over whom his very madness, like some ore among a mineral metal space, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done.
Come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. This foul deed we must with all our majesty and skill both countenance and excuse. Ho! Guildenstern! Friends both! Go join with you on some further aid. Hamlet hath Polonius slain, and to his mother's closet hath we drawn him. Go seek him there, speak fair, and bring his body into the chapel. I pray you haste in this! Gertrude, we'll call up our wisest friends, and let them know both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. So haply slandered, whose whisper o'er the world's diameter, as level as the cannon to his blank, transports his poison shot, we miss our aim, to hit the wounded air. Gertrude, come away. My heart is full of discord and dismay.
he could be anywhere.
All right. Well, you go that way. I'll go this way. No. Yes.
Right. No. No, you go this way, I'll go that way.
Right.
Right. Wait a minute. I think we should stick together. He might be violent.
Good point. Well, I'll come with you.
No, I'll come with you.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your concentration. If you kindly follow Rose and Nancy and myself to Morrison's Hall, the King and Queen have provided us with some light refreshments.
Any person wishing to relieve themselves may follow me.
Thank you.
What about the body of the dead man?
No? Oh, great. Thanks a lot.
They're no good, as you realise.
No. They don't practice.
We'll go on questions. What good would that do? Practice? Segment, one lot, 2 games. I haven't started yet. Segment, 2 lot. Are you counting that? What? Are you counting that? Val, no repetitions. 3 lot. Best game to me. I'm not going to play if you're going to be like that.
Who served? Huh? Val, no grunts. Love one.
Who's go?
Why?
Why not? What for? Val, no systems. Do one.
What in God's name is going on?
Val, no rhetoric. 3-1.
What does it all add up to?
Can't you guess?
Well, you're addressing me.
Is there anyone else?
Who?
How should I know?
Well, why do you ask?
Are you serious?
Was that rhetoric?
No. Segment, 2 all, game point. What's the matter with you today, Gwen? What? Are you dead? Am I dead?
Yes or no?
Is there a choice?
Oh, is there a God?
Count and nonsense. 3, 2, 1, game on.
What's your name?
What's yours?
I am first.
Segment, 1 on.
What's your name when you're at home?
What's yours?
When I'm at home?
Is it different at home?
What home?
Haven't you got one?
Why do you ask?
What are you driving at?
What's your name?
Repetition 3, 1, back for it to me.
Who do you think you are?
Rhetoric, game and match. When's it going to end? That's the question. All question.
Do you think it matters?
What, doesn't it matter to you?
Why should it matter?
What does it matter why?
Doesn't it matter why it matters?
What is the matter with you?
Oh, does it matter?
What's the game?
What are the rules?
Give us that!
Oh, yeah, that.
Clever.
Natural.
Instinct.
Got it in your head?
I take my hat off to you.
Shake hands.
Right, now I'll tell you.
Right.
Young black!
Yeah, catch me unawares.
Right.
Ready? Don't be stupid! Get on, sir! What? Don't you discriminate? We shall see. I hardly knew him. He's changed. You could see that. Transformed. How do you know? Inside and out. I see. He's not himself. He's changed. I can see that. Glean, what afflicts him? Me? Not him. How? Question and answer. Always the best ways. Here's a question. You question, I'll answer. He's not himself, you know. I'm him, you see. Who am I then? You're yourself. And he's you. Not a bit of it. Are you afflicted? That's the idea. Are you ready? Let's go back a bit. I'm afflicted, I see. Glean what afflicts me. Right. Question and answer. How should I begin? Address me. Wait. My dear Guildenstern, you've forgotten, haven't you? My dear Rosencrantz. Oh, I don't think you quite understand. What we are attempting here is a hypothesis in which I answer for him while you ask me questions. Ah, ready? You know what to do. Huh? You stupid! Did you speak? You dare! What did you say? Not now. Take my brother! Not now! Oh! You mean you pretend to be him and I ask you questions? Very good. You have me confused more. I can see I have. How should I begin? Address me. My honoured lord. My dear Rosencrantz. Am I pretending to be you then? Certainly not. Oh, if you like, shall we continue? My honoured lord. My dear fellow. How are you? Afflicted. Really? In what way? Transformed. Inside or out? Both. I see. Not much new there. Go into details, delve! Or probe the background. Establish the situation. So your uncle is King of Denmark? Yes. And my father before him. And his father before him. No, my father before him. But surely you might well ask. Let me get it straight. Your father was king, your father dies, you are of age, your uncle becomes king. Yes. Unorthodox. Undeniable. Where were you? In Germany. Usurpation then. He slipped in. Which reminds me, well, it would. I don't want to be personal. It's common knowledge. Your mother's married. He slipped in. His body was still warm. So was hers. Extraordinary. Indecent. Hasty. Suspicious. It makes you think. Don't think I haven't thought of it. And with her husband's brother. Well, they were close. She went to him. Too close. For comfort. It looks bad. It adds up. Incest to adultery. Would you go so far? Never. To sum up, your father whom you love dies. You are his heir to the throne. You come back to find that hardly was the corpse cold before his younger brother had hopped onto the throne and into the sheets, thereby making both legal and natural practice. Now, why exactly are you behaving in this extraordinary manner? I can't imagine. All this is well known. Well, common property. He's coming! What's he doing? Walking. Who's he with? The old man. Walking? No. Not walking? No. Ah, well, there's an opening if ever there was one. Let him walk into the trap! What trap? Oh. Well, if everybody kindly follow me outside, we can set one up. Thank you, everyone. What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust. Whereto it is king.
How it waxes, we leave him to and bear it to the supper.
You not believe it?
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be a man of my expunge. What replication should you make thyself?
You are so good.
I say, one that soaks up the king's counsels. His rewards. His authorities. But such officers do the king best service in the end. He keeps him like an ape, an apple in the corner of his jaw. First mouth, last to be swallowed. When he needs what you want, did he can squeeze you. And you, sponge, shall we drive in?
I understand you not,
and every street sleeps in a foolish fear.
My lord, you must tell us where the dead body is and go with us to the king.
Ah, the king is with the body, but the body is not with the king. The king is a thing.
What thing, my lord?
Nothing, bring me to him.
Say, please take a hold of that young rascal. You hold on to his arm? That's like so. If you do, don't let him go. Now we must take him to the king, so put your card in hold, please. I believe it's this way. You've got to push it out of hold. Oh! Hey! A man talking sense to himself is no better than a man talking nonsense not to himself.
Or just as mad.
Or just as mad, yeah. And he does both. So there you are. Stark raving insane.
Why?
Why? Exactly. Exactly what? Exactly why? Exactly why? Why? What exactly? Why is he mad?
I don't know. The old man thought he was in love with his daughter.
Good God, we're out of our depth here.
Oh, no. He has got a daughter. The old man thought he was in love with his daughter.
The old man is?
Hamlet. In love with the old man's daughter. The old man thought.
Beginning to make sense. Unrequited passion. What? Nobody is allowed to leave this space without a very good reason.
Why?
All this strolling about's getting far too arbitrary by half. I'm rapidly losing my grip.
Look, I have to attend to my players. We always wear the same costume and they sometimes forget what they're supposed to be in, you see.
Past.
Oh, watch them closely now. They always pick up marvellously for the depths. It brings out the poetry in them.
I have sent to seek him and to find the body. How dangerous it is that this man goes loose. But we must not put the strong law on him. He's loved of the distracted multitude, who like not in their judgment but their eyes. And where 'tis so, the offender's scourge is weighed, but never the offence. Now, what hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
Without my lord guarded.
Bring him before us.
No, Guildenstern, bring in the lord.
Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper? Where?
Not where you eat, but where he's eating. A sort of convocation of politic worms are in at it. Your worm is your only emperor for day.
Alas.
A man may fish with that worm that had eaten the king, and eat that fish that had fed that worm.
What do you mean by this?
Nothing, but to show you how a king may go progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither to see him. And if your messenger find him not there, seeking in the other place yourself. But if indeed you find him not within this hour, you shall know as soon as you go upstairs to the lobby.
Go seek him there.
He will stay till you come.
Hamlet, for this deed, and for thine own especial safety, which we do tender as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready and the wind at help. The associates tend and everything is bent for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet. Good. So it is that thou used our purpose.
I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England, farewell, my mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother? Mother and father is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh. So, this letter sealed that my two schoolfellows will trust as I will adders bang, they burn a mandate.
Follow him at foot, tempt him with speed aboard, delay it not.
They must sweep my way and marshal to knavery, let it work.
I'll have him hence tonight.
We'll just both to have the engineer hoist its own tide. She'll go hard, but I will tell one other in their minds and blow them at the moon.
Away, for everything is sealed and done, but else leans on the affair.
But in one line, two crafts directly meet. This man shall set me packing.
I pray thee hasten this. And England, if my loves are holst at all, as my great power thereof may give thee sense, thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign process, which imparts at full, with letters congruing to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern have been sent to England and may not return. I must therefore neglect my players and conduct you on the next part of our journey. If you will just follow me, please. Keep an eye peeled. Stay close. No one get lost. This way, please.
I will not speak with her.
She is important. Indeed, distracted. The mood will be speaking. She speaks much of her father. There's tricks in the world. It stems and beats her heart. Spurns endlessly at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing. Yet the unshaped use of it does move the hearers to collection. They haymakers and botch their words up to fit their own thoughts. To her good she was spoken with, but she mazed through dangerous conjectures of her reader mind.
Let her come in. My sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some greater mystery. So full of artless jealousies, guilt, spills itself in fearing to be sweet.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
Come now, Ophelia.
How should I, your true love, know from another one? By his copper-handled staff and his sandal shoe.
Oh, sweet maid, what reports this song?
Say you? Nay, pray you, mark. He's dead and gone, lady. He's dead and gone. At his heels a green grass turf, at his head a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you, mark. White his shroud as the mountain snow, lie like whispering flowers, to be wet to the ground and not grow in true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
Where, my lord? Say the hours of Baker's daughter. Not we are, not what we may be. God be at your table? Pray, let have no words of this. They ask you what it means. I'll say this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, or in the morning betime, and I am ready to weep, though to be a Valentine. And up he rose and donned his clothes and ducked the chamber door. Let in a maid that out a maid never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia.
It is love without an oath, I'll make an end of it. My disadvice in charity, lack and five for shame. Young men will do it. If they come to it. My cock, they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. And he answers, and so I would have done by yonder sun, and thou'lt not come to be fed.
How long had she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient. I cannot choose but to weep, to think and lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night.
It springs all from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude. Gertrude. When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son gone, himself the violent author of his own just remove. People muddied, thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whistles for good Polonius' death. And we have gone with Greenly and hugger to inter him. Judgment, which will meet. Where are my princes? The noise!
They cry. How do you
Where is this vile king? Gentlemen, stand you all without.
Who's coming with you?
I pray you, give me leave.
You will.
I thank you, keep the door.
Oh, thou vile king. Where is my father?
Calmly, good Laertes.
That drop of blood that's come proclaims me bastard, and cries cockles to my father, brands the harlot. Even here between the chaste and unsmirched brows of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. There's such divinity doth hedge a king, that treason would but peep to what it would, acts little of his will. Why art thou thus incensed? Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with.
Let him have his will.
To hell allegiance! Vow to the blackest devil! I dare! Damnation! Let come what comes, only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
My will. Not all the world, but for my means I'll husband them so well, they shall go far with little.
You desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death. Is it written your revenge? That swoops take will drop of friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
When you know them, then.
To his good friends, thus wide I open my arms. And like a kind and life-rendering pelican, I repart them with my blood.
Now you speak like a good child. And a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it. And shall as level to your judgment peer as day does to your eye.
They brought him breakfast on
What noise is this?
Let her come in.
Very well, my dove.
Here's 7 times salt bound to sense in the virtue of mine eyes. By heaven, thy manners shall be paid by weight, till our scale overturns the beam. Dear maid, kind sister, my sweet Ophelia. Possible a young maid's wits could be as mortal as an old man's life. Nature is fine in love, and where it is fine, it sends some precious instance of itself after the thing it loves.
You must sing. A down, and you call him a downer. How the wheel becomes it. It was the false steward that stole his master's daughter.
As by thy wits and couldst persuade revenge, it could not move me thus.
Rosemary. It's the remembrance. Pray, love, remember. Pansies for thoughts. It's fun to you.
It's nothing's more than that.
Some room for you.
A remembrance is suited.
You must wear yours with the difference. I will give you some violets. It was it all when my father died. They say he made a good end.
Affliction, passion, hell itself!
She turns to folly and to prettiness.
Will he not come again? Will he not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He never will come again. His beard was as white as snow. All flaxen was his coat. He's gone, he's gone. In the castaway mold. God have mercy on his soul. With all souls, I pray God. God by you.
Do you see this, oh God?
Laertes, I must come you with her grief, or you deny me right. Get thee but depart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and let them choose and hear twixt you and me. If by direct or collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our crown, our lives, and all that we call ours to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us. We shall jointly labor with your soul to give it you content.
Let it be so. His means of death. His obscure burial. No sword nor hatchment o'er his bones. No noble rite nor formal ostentation. Cry to be heard as 'twere from heaven to earth. Then I must call it into question.
And so you shall. And where the offence is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give this fellow some means to the king. I have letters for him. Here we were, 2 days old at sea. A pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow, sir, we put on a compelled valor in the grapple I boarded them. On these they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did, and I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have sent. This good fellow bring thee to where I am. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb. Yet they much too love for the bore of the man. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that thou knowest not. Come, I'll give you way for these your letters. And do it the speedy that you may direct me to him from whom you bought them.
So have I, noble father, lost. Sister driven into desperate terms. Word that faces may go back again. To challenge on mount of all the age for her perfections. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleep for that. You must not think we are made of stuff so flat and dull, that we can let our beard be shook with danger and call it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I love your father. And we love ourselves. That, I hope, will teach you to imagine. How now, what news?
Letters, my lord. From Hamlet. Is your majesty this to the queen?
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord. They say I saw them not. They were given to me by Claudio. He received them from him that brought them.
Laertes, you shall hear this. Leave us! High and mighty, know that I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return.
this mean? Are all the rest come back? Or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand.
It is Hamlet's character. Make it. And in a postscript here he says, alone. Can you advise me?
I have lost it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness of my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou.
If this should be so, how should it be so? How? Otherwise, will you be ruled by me?
My lord, you'll not so rule me to a peace.
To thy own peace. If Hamlet be now returned as checking at his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall. And for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, that even his mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will do it. And for this purpose, I'd rather you make that I might be the organ.
Laertes, is your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passages of proof. Time qualifies the very spark and fire of it. There lies within the very flame of love. But to the quick of the answer, what would you do to show yourself your father's son in deed more than in word?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuaries. Will you do this? Close within your chamber. Hamlet's return shall know you are come home. Will set on those shall praise your fencing excellence, and set a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you. Bring you in fine together. Wager on your heads. Hamlet, being remiss, most generous, free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and requite him for your father.
My lord, I will do it, and for this purpose I'll anoint my sword. I will nudge enough a mountebank so mortal, that but dip a knife blade where it draws blood, no cataplasm, however rare, collected from all simples that have virtue under the moon. They say the thing from death that is but gold withal. With this contagion I'll touch my point, that but if I touch him slightly, it may be dead.
Let's further think on this. Weigh what convenience, both of time and place, may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and our deed shine through our bad performance, 'twere better not assayed. Therefore this project should have a back or second, that will hold if this did blast in proof. Softly. Let me see. I have it. When in your motions you are hot and dry, as make the bout more violent to that end, I'll have prepared for him a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. Soft. What noise? How now, Gertrude?
One word I've tread on my mother's heels so fast they follow. Sister's down.
Down. And where?
There's a villa across a slanted hook that shows his hollow leaves in the glassy stream. There, fantastic garlands did she colour. Coneflowers, nettles, daisies, and warm purples. That liberal shepherds give a grocery, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers on. There on the pendant boughs her coronet leaves clamber into one, an envious liberty. When down the ruby trophies and herself fell into the leafy hook, both spread wide, and mermaid-like a while they wore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress. Or like a creature, naughty and continued unto her battlement. How long it could not be, till that begun its heavenly beauty, with the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, then she is drowned.
No.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears! But it is our creed. Nature her custom holds.
Let chains say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. And you, my lord, I've a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly doubts it.
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our sad duty now to attend the funeral of Ophelia. Out of love, respect, and devotion for this fallen beauty. If you'd follow me to the site of the burial, please.
The contracted type of idea of the thoughtless lover of meat. What age and with his skill and step up slowly in his clutch, and shake me back into the hand as if I'd never been such. Pickaxe and a spade, oh, and a shrouded sheet. Oh, prepare clay to be made for such a death as me. Whose grave is this, Sirrah? Mine, sir. I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in. You know not in it, therefore it is not yours. But for my part, though I do lie in it, 'tis mine. Thou dost lie. To be in it, and say 'tis thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest. Ah, 'twas a quick lie, sir, the way again from me to you. What man dost thou dig it for? For no man. Well, what woman, then? For none neither. Who is to be buried in? One that was a woman, but bless her soul, she's dead. How long hast thou been a graven maker? Of all the days of the year, I came to it the last day that our old King Hamlet I became Fortinbras. Oh, how long is that since? Can you not tell that? Any fool could tell you that. It's the same day that young Hamlet was born. Isn't that the old man and sent to England? I married. Why was he sent to England? Oh, because he was mad, but it won't matter there. Why? Well, the men there as mad as he will not be seen in there. How can he be mad? Oh, very strangely, they say. Oh, how strangely? Faith, Ian losing his wits. Well, upon what grounds? Why, here in Denmark. I have been grave maker here, man and boy, for 30 years. How long will a man lie here ere he rot? Well, if he not be rotten by the time we get him, as we have many pocky horses nowadays who will scarce hold that laying in, he will last you some 8 or 9 years. Tanner, he will last you 10. Why, he more than another. But you see, his hide is so tanned with his trade that it'll hold the water out a long while. And your waters your horse in the care of a sore dead body. Look here, here is a skull that has lain in the earth 23 years. Whose was it? Guess. I know not. A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. He once poured a flagon of Rhenish on me head. Who do you think he was? I don't know. This skull, sir, was Sir Yorick's skull. The king's jester. Here now. Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. Oh, now how aboard in my imagination it is, my gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Oh, where be your gibes now? Your gambols, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set a table at a roar. No one now to mock your own grinning, quite chop-fallen. Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, make her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Softly comes the king. I'm a queen, I'm a queen. And who do they follow? And with such name and rights. But this doth token, of course, they follow you. Desperate hand to do its own life. Crouch me, wife.
else, back as they earth is a very noble youth, Mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranty. Her death was doubtful. And, but that great command that oversways the order, she should in ground unsanctified have lodged, till the last trumpet. For charitable prayers, shards, flints, pebbles should be thrown upon her. Yet here she is allowed her virgin crowns, her maiden struments, and in bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem, such rest to her as the poo-spotted souls.
Then lay her in the earth. And from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be. When thou liest howling